Whenever pigeon fanciers ask me for an advice, I would always tell them, it definitely starts with good breeding. Kaya ngayon mga kalapatids, no more secrets. All my techniques will be revealed in the Ranked Up Decal Breeding Program. Racing pigeon breeding is a selective mating of a cock and hen racing pigeons. Here at Advanced Hobby Slope, our breeding starts at mid of December and ends by April. The reason is during rainy season, which is off-season, medyo hindi malusog ang mga sisyo because of the weather. In all aspect ng mga animal breeding, hindi sila healthy, ang mga offspring di healthy. Normally, we breed 3 to 4 clutches. First round, I go for my North racers. Second round, mga South racers ko. Third round, mga line breeding, inbreeding ko. Fourth round, mga for sales ko. During breeding, you need to prepare your breeding cell. My breeding cell is 24 inches width, and depth is around 12 inches, and the height is 18 inches. Inside the breeding cell, you should prepare a nesting ball. A nesting ball, ang material you should use sometimes, you use sand, buhangin, or you can use newspaper. Sometimes others use tobacco stem. I would advise you to use newspaper. Yun na mas convenient, mas madali. Ang sun sometimes nag-accumulate mga dirt, mga bacteria. Sometimes it would affect yung mga offspring. Sa breeding cell, just make sure the loft is well ventilated. Because if the loft is not well ventilated, the breeding pair will not be in good condition. The loft design should be well ventilated in such a way that upper portion you should have around 10 inches na vent, and the lower portion above the floor may 10 inches na vent. This way the air can circulate to promote good ventilation. Once you're ready with the loft and the loft is well designed, well ventilated, you have your breeding cell ready, you start selecting your breeding pair. I'd like to show you kung paano to distinguish the sex. This is a cock. Ang pagkakaiba ng cock and the hen, ang ulo niya. Mas malaki ang ulo ng cock, and ang katawan niya mas malaki siya. Ang cock, mas malaki ang ulo nila, at ang body conformation, mas malaki sila. Ang hen, mas maliit ang ulo, and mas apple body sila. This is a crack 52 line. I'd like to show you the difference of a hen. Makita niyo yung ulo niya, medyo mas maliit, and ang katawan niya mas maliit. In my breeding program, I select those breeders that had produced good progeny in my previous races, and sometimes I use my line-bred bird and outcross them to another line. I start using my breeders at the age of 1 year above. Do not breed breeders that are below 1 year old. They're too immature. Then ginagamit ko sila up to 6 years old, except on those that have been producing consistently ng mga good progeny, ng mga winners. So ginagamit ko pa rin sila, basta magpo-produce lang sila. Those breeders that did not perform in 3 races, inaalis ko na sila. After my North-South races, another chance in the North, pag they cannot produce any good progeny, inaalis ko na sa breeding loft ko yung mga breeders na yan. Pag nananalo sila, it means they are in the right conformation and they're healthy, definitely. That's why nakadulo sila. So from those body na sinasalat nyo palagi ng mga winners, you can develop a skill of selecting good conformation. Now, birds that are small, okay pa. Medium birds, the best. But never big birds. I'll show you one good example of a big bird. Kitang-kita nyo ang lapad ng katawan nitong ibon na ito. Normally, big birds, you need 2 hands to hold them. I hate big birds. Pag malaki, out sila sa breeding loft ko. Now, I'd like to show you the comparison between a big bird and a small bird. Makita nyo ang layo ng katawan nila. Big birds don't perform. They're very slow. They produce big offspring. So, I eliminate mga big birds.
Sa matibay at malakas na buto, isa lang ang sagot. Decal, ang Decal Libreng Calcium. Ang Decal ay fortified with vitamin D na tumutulong sa maayos na absorption ng calcium. Tumutulong din ito sa maayos at magandang uri ng eggshell ng kalapati para sa mataas na hatchability. Ang Decal ay the best sa kahit na anong stage ng inyong racing pigeon. Sa breeding, training, conditioning at racing, may calcium kang maaasahan. Decal, ang Decal Libreng Calcium.
The bloodline that are performing in my loft are my original foundation bird na si Crack 52, Flying Machine, and the outcross between the two na produce Flying 52. And I outcross them to the Gerald Koopman lines, to Philippines, and to Vandenbroek. These three bloodlines blends very well with my bloodline. Itong hawak kong ibon ay isang linyada ng Crack 52 lines ko. Ang date ng Sing Nest way back 2008. Kung 2008 nandito pa sa loob ko, it means this top breeder. Normally, mga 6 years old pa lang, tinatanggal ko na sa loob, hindi sila nagpo-produce. This bird had produced a lot of middle to long distance bird. For mga 2K winner, superset winner, and mga lap champion. So it's one of my top breeder, si Crack O Eyes. Ang feature ng Crack 52, yung streak niya sa mata, pag may streak na to, normally, most of them, may streak nito, it's Crack 52 line. Here I have Magic Dancer. It's out of the Flying Machine line. Isang inbreed and line breed bird ko. This bird is a hen and had produced a lot of winners for me. Ang Flying Machine line ko dati, mga offspring nun, isang pula, isang checkered. Since I hate flying red birds dahil marupok ang pakpak nila, I try to line breed and inbreed only the blue checks. All I have are blue check, wala ng red check. Through selective breeding, I was able to produce pure blue check na Flying Machine line. And this line crosses very well, especially on long distance, since Flying Machine is a Tacloban champion. I have here is a Flying Kick. It's a line bred Flying 52 line. Ang Flying 52 line is an outcross of Flying Machine and Crack 52. My two outstanding foundation line in outcross ko was able to produce Flying 52, which is overall champion. Unfortunately, still with me, si Flying 52, wala na siya sa condition dahil nag-prolapse. So when you say prolapse, you cannot breed them anymore. Hindi na siya bumabalik sa dating condition, but she's still with me. Tinabi ko lang siya and try to condition her. From outcrossing my two foundation line, mas consistent ang Flying 52 line ko. This line is good for 2K and superset. And this line has been winning a lot for me. Now, when I outcross them, Philippines is for long distance lang talaga. They will not perform during short distance races. And Vandenbroek and Koopman, they do perform middle and long distance. So that's how I pair them.
Alam nyo, ang pagkakalapate ay very challenging yan. Nasa kamay nyo ang kapalaran ng kalapate sa panahon ng training at conditioning bago ang karera. Pero pagdating ng loading ng mga kalapate, dito na nakakaparehas ang laban. Nandyan ang matagal na biyahe, matinding init, minsan malamig na panahon, isang painuman, isang patuka. At ang delikado ay ang mahawa ang mga ito sa sakit. Kaya bago ko ikarga aking mga kalapate, sinisigurado ko loaded sila ng tamang supplement.
Ang reload ay may sangkap na ribose at electrolytes upang magbigay ng instant energy boost. Dito maiiwasan ang stress sa panahon ng basketing at loading kasama rin ang mabilis na recovery ng ating mga kalapati pagkagaling sa karera. Kaya sa bawat dalawang patak ng Reload Plus, masisigurado natin na loaded ang ating mga kalapati pagdating sa karera.
Para sa magandang kondisyon at mabilis na recovery ng ibon natin, bigyan ng reload!
Now I have here with me isang Vandenbroek line, si Didi's Boy. Why tinawagan na Didi's Boy? Because top bird ni Vandenbroek ay si Didi. So I line bred the Didi line of Vandenbroek, and I was able to produce a lot of good breeders from Vandenbroek and a lot of winners from the Vandenbroek line. This cock has been producing a lot of winners for me, and he has been a top flyer and a top breeder for me. It's a 3-year-old cock. Here with me is the Philippine line. Ang Philippine line is well known for a lot of Barcelona champions. Major bloodline niya is the Bros Mayers and the Etterbach. The Philippines bird are rather big. Medyo malaki sila. They're slow, mabagal sila, but consistently umuwi sila. Pagdating sa long distance, expect this slow bird to perform on long distance races. Mas sprint bird usually ay for short distance. Pag dumating sa long distance, you can expect a sprint bird. The Philippines line had won for me a lot of MacArthur winners. For the North, meron din akong overall champion na Philippine line. Very consistent. And one more advice, never breed a sprint bird to a long distance bird. Do not expect, pag pinasok mo yung sprint bird sa isang long distance bird, bibilis ang long distance bird nyo. They will not perform. From the first race up to the last race, normally in Europe, it's only middle distance. But here, when we reach 550 to 600 plus, we consider that long distance because dito, mas mahirap ang karera dito. Tumatawid tayo ng dagat, may init ang panahon dito. So I assume ang 550 above, we consider long distance here in our country. Ito naman ay si Top Koopy. Top Koopy is an imported Gerald Koopman blue check cock. There are two imported bloodlines that are performing very well in the Philippines. One is the Vandenbroek. Alam natin lahat, it's after Vandenbroek line dahil maraming gumagamit ng Vandenbroek na nanalo. The other line is Koopman. A lot of my birds are performing cross with Koopman bloodline. It's been performing very well, and every time there's an auction on Koopman birds, I never fail to buy one. Pag good conformation ang pinag-usapan, karamihan dyan, mga hobbies, mga fancier, gusto niyo apple body. Masarap isalat. But there's one thing I tell you about deep kill, like this bird. It has very good conformation, and pag salat mo, hindi masarap isalat. May deep kill siya, but I tell you, deep kill are the long distance bird. Those birds that are performing in the long distance, pag sinalat ko, normally puro deep kill. When it comes to breeding, training, racing, and recovery, I use power wings.
Ang power wings ay ginagamit 2 beses sa isang linggo sa oras ng pagpapalahi, training, karera at recovery.
Yan ang power wings.
Dahil ang power wings ay may sangkap na glucose para sa reserbang enerhiya, B-complex, pampagana kumain at tumutulong sa nerve function ng ating mga alaga, amino acids para sa proper muscle development, multivitamins at trace minerals upang mapalitan ang nawalang bitamina at mineral sa panahon ng breeding, training at racing. Kaya para sa breeding, training, racing at recovery ng ating mga kalapati,
Use power wings.
Dahil ito magaling!
Boss, dito na yung ibon.
Wow, Dad! Ibang klase mga ibon mo. Ang tagal na ng lipad pero pagbaba sa loft, ang lakas pa din. Anong secret mo?
Alam mo, pagdating sa matibay na kalapate, wala namang malaking sikreto. Para sa ibong matibay at siksik sa enerhiya, El Carne lang yan.
El Carne, lakas, tatag at tibay. Maasahan sa mahabang liparan. May sangkap na L-carnitine na tumutulong upang tunawin at gawing energy ang fats habang pinapanatili ang body temperature ng kalapati para sa tuloy-tuloy na lipad ng ibon sa karera.
Ang pagkakalapate, parang pamilya lang yan. Kapag alagang magaling ka, siguradong uuwi ang ibon mo. Tatak Excellence, talagang magaling! Para sa matibay na puso at kalamnan,
Para sa matalas at alertong pakiisip.
Para sa katawang hindi basta-basta sumusuko sa karera.
Voltplex, the 3-in-1 energy formula for racing pigeons. May sangkap na creatine para sa malakas na pangangatawan at matalas na isipan. Ubiquinol para sa magandang digestion at matibay na puso. At L-carnitine para sa pagtunaw ng taba na pinagkukunan ng enerhiya. Para siguradong ang kalapati mo kasing tibay ng Big 3.
Voltplex, Tatak Excellence, talagang magaling!
Paghanap ng isang ibon na magandang bloodline, the only choice you have is to look upon the pedigree. This is an example of my pedigree. Andito sa front ng pedigree ko ang Certificate of Ownership. At nandito mismo ang picture ng kalapate. At the back of the Certificate of Ownership is the pedigree. Andito ang mga bloodline and history and the performance of the birds involved. Titingnan yung pedigree, ang bloodline ng isang breeder, ang performance ng isang kalapate, ang parents niya, kung okay ang performance, o nununo niya, mga grandparents, you have a very good line. That's where you choose your breeders. There are several types of breeding. Normally, there's the outcrossing, the line breeding, the inbreeding. Inbreeding is father to daughter, mother to son, vice versa. Line breeding is cousin to cousin. You line breed a line. Outcrossing is two different lines na kinocross mo. I inbreed and line breed my birds for stock birds lang. Hindi mo pwede karera yon. I tried that before. It didn't perform. So with that line, mga line breed and inbreed na bird, stock bird ko, I outcross them normally to imported bloodlines. With these lines, after the outcrossing, I prefer a 4-way cross or above. They perform very well. Because pag outcross sila, mas may vigor sila, mas may endurance, mas matibay yung kalapate. On my left is a crack 52 line breeding bird. It's a stock bird. It's not been raised. On my right is an imported pure Koopman bird. I outcross these two birds. I'm sure I can produce very good offspring. Just imagine, this cock is 2010, the hen's 2008. But I still maintain these two birds because they've been producing a lot of winners for me. Both of them are deep kill. The cock talagang very deep ang kill, and slightly for the hen. These are the birds that perform. All the birds I purchase locally or imported or through auction, I quarantine them at least 60 days. And my quarantine is on the ground floor. My loft is on the third floor. The reason, di kailan pwedeng malapit ang quarantine mo and your loft. And your hospital, pag may sakit, kailan malayo rin, di pwede malapit sa loft mo. Magkakahawa yan. It should be very far, at least 50 meters away. During quarantine, I check their dropping. If their droppings are okay, it should be okay. Pag hindi okay ang droppings, may problema yung bird na yan. And I do my cleansing, my flushing during the quarantine. To keep your bird healthy, you have to cleanse them. Cleansing to flush out all the bacteria inside the intestine, inside your birds. I split my birds during April or May. Nakahiwalay ang male ko, ang nakahiwalay ang female, cock or hen, nakahiwalay. I condition them. For my breeders and my flyers, I use decal 2 times a week throughout the year. Even off-season, meron rin silang decal during conditioning. The purpose for this is para magandang eggshell ng mga breeders mo and ang bone structure ng mga progeny nila and muscle movement. Another supplement that's very important for your breeders is the amino acid, which is power wings, para lumakas ang mga tissue nila and para mas malusog at mas malakas ang bone structure nila. Pag-condition na sila, that's the time i-flushing ko sila or i-cleansing ko sila. Pag malinis na, in time for breeding. I like my birds to be in top condition before I breed them. That's very important because unhealthy bird cannot produce a winning bird.
Ano ba ang going light?
Ang going light ay isang epekto o senyalis ng sakit ng isang kalapati. Kung namamayat at nanghihina ang inyong kalapati, tiyak na may sakit ang inyong ibon.
Going light no more sa Salmo Stop, your ultimate solution against going light. Nilalabanan at pinoprotektahan ang inyong kalapati laban sa E. coli, Salmonella, Coccidiosis at crop mycosis. Tumutulong din ito sa maayos na absorption ng nutrisyon para sa kalapati. Kung mayroon itong E. coli o Salmonella, magbigay lamang ng isang kapsula kada ibon sa loob ng 7 araw. At kung crop mycosis o Coccidiosis, magbigay ng isang kapsula kada ibon sa loob ng 14 na araw. Going light no more. Digestive problem, solve agad-agad. Sa Salmo Stop, stop ang going light. Sa panahong hindi mo inaasahan, sa panahong pabago-bago, mula training, loading, at releasing. Toxi Plus, sandata kontra sa komplikadong sipon at one-eye cold. Para sa prevention, isang kapsula para sa inyong kalapati sa loob ng 3 araw. Para sa treatment, isang kapsula bawat araw sa loob ng 5 hanggang 7 araw.
So Doxy Plus, ox na ox kay Doc!
After the last lap ng North Races, that's the time I start planning my breeding program. Every night, kasama ko yung lopman ko si Pacquiao, pinag-aralan namin yung breeding program kung anong pairing gagamitin namin. Those who had performed, mga breeders na nag-perform mga progeny nila, inuulit namin. Those new breeders, what we do, we study the bloodline. Anong good bloodline to connect with, yun ang ginagamit namin. Pag pinasok mo sa breeding cell, normally on the 10th day, dapat umiklog na yung hen. Pag di umiklog after 10 days or takes another 1 week, it means hindi healthy yung hen or yung cock. So the best way is condition them again before breeding or do not use them dahil it would not produce any good offspring. But sometimes hindi nila kusyonada yung partner nila. What I do, pag nakita ko condition naman sila, siniswitching ko na lang sila with other pair, it works. Umiiklog na naman. So, kinukulong namin itong mga breeders sa cell nila, sa breeding cell, hanggang umiklog sila. At on the 8 days na umiklog na sila, saka binubuksan namin para lumabas sila. They can exercise, they can fly in the fly pen, in the aviary, para hindi masyadong mag-down sila dahil nakakulong lang. And that's very important. Pag umiklog sila, the hatching duration is around 18 days. So, hindi naman sabay pipisa yun. One would come out first and the other one after another day. And normally, the one who comes out first, mas malaki siya kaysa the other one. So, be careful. Pag nakita nyo na iwanan na maliit, lipat mo na sa iba, isuswitch ko na sila malaki sa malaki, maliit sa maliit, para hindi magbansot yung maliit. On the 18th day, pipisa na yung iklog. Pagdating ng 6th day or 5th, sometimes medyo malaki ang sisyo, in the 5th day pa lang, kailan may suksok mo na yung singsing. Kundi, pagdating na 8th day, medyo mahirapan na kayo. You should band them and check them regularly. Sometimes, masyado maliit ang paa, pag sinuksok nyo, natatanggal din. Pag lumaki na, hindi mo na may habol. So what my guys do, every day, chinecheck nila kung natatanggal hindi. Pag 10 days old na ang sisyo, kinukulong sila ulit. This system, masigurado mo na silang ang magulang. Dahil pag di sila nakakulong, baka ibang kak nakasalisi, you're not sure of the bloodline. Sometimes makita nyo, tumutuka yung sisyo na di nakalabas at namamatay na lang sa loob ng itlog. It means may sakit yung parents o wala sa kondisyon ng parents. So, whenever you breed, kailangan malusog ang parents. Should be well conditioned before you breed them. Pag wala sila condition, do not breed them. It will not produce winners. During the whole breeding season, aside from decal, gumagamit ako ng multivitamins gawa ng Excellence, that the Excellence C+, plus yung vitamin na B complex. The reason you have to use multivitamins, yung Excellence C+, because nagsusubo yung magulang dun sa sisyo. So medyo down sila. You need multivitamins to help them get back into condition. And we have to supplement them with vitamin B complex. Why? Because all pigeons are deficient with B complex. Kulang sa kalapate yan. They need that badly. Ever since my first day in raising pigeons, gumagamit ako ng B complex.
Ang inyong kalapati ba ay hindi makakain at makatuka? May pamamaga ang parteng lalamunan at sobra ang pag-inom ng tubig.
Isa lang nakikita ko, may cancer ang inyong kalapati. Simple lang ang sagot sa iyong problema. CanCare. Gamitin ang CanCare bago at pagkatapos ng breeding, retraining at training para maiwasan ang pagkalat ng sakit. Isang kapsula para sa prevention stage sa loob ng 3 araw at isang kapsula naman para sa treatment stage sa loob ng 5 hanggang 7 araw.
Ano ang astig para sa'yo? Pero para sa amin, ito ang astig. Ang Rock Dove Astig ay mabisang pamuksa ng anumang uri ng roundworm at tapeworm ng inyong kalapati. Magbigay lamang ng isang kapsula sa inyong kalapati at ulitin ito sa loob ng 2 buwan. At siguradong ang inyong kalapati ay isang tunay na astig. Rock Dove Astig para sa kalapating astig.
I usually win my birds at 23 days. Pag 23 days, medyo young sila. Others do it 25, 26 days or 30 days. Nilalagay ko sila sa individual cage. Pinag-aaralan ko ang droppings nila, tinitingnan ko ang droppings nila kung okay. Kung magandang droppings, healthy sila. Then, nilalagyan ko ng paso para tumuka sila ng mga small seeds. In case, hindi sila marunong pa tumuka, hinahandfed ko sila. For 5 days, inaalalayan ko sila. Now, on the 28 days, that's the time nilalagay ko sila sa razor loft. The right time to vaccine your bird with PMV is on the 45th day. Pero sa akin naman, medyo ay kung tamaan ng kalapati ko, what I do, on the 23rd day, pag win pa lang nila to the monitoring cage, I vaccine them. And on the 45th day, I give another booster to be sure. Dahil ay kung pagpasok sa racing loft, tamaan sila, maghawa-hawa sila. So to make sure, I vaccine them pag start ng winning pa lang. On the 28th day, I put them in my racing loft. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang paggagamit ko ng decal hanggang sa racing day. Breeding program check. You are now one step closer in achieving your next championship trophy. Always keep in mind that pigeon racing starts with good breeding. I am Jaime and this is your Excellence Rock Dove Decal Breeding Program.